Now, hey guys, welcome back. Now that we're done with addition and subtraction, let's try the property of equality for multiplication. So it's basically the same thing with the addition and subtraction. If you divide or multiply on one side of the equation, you have to do the same thing to the other side of the equation. Again, note that multiply undo divide and divide undo multiply. Let's start with something easy. 2x is equal to 10. So our goal this time is to isolate x. But how do we isolate x? We need to get rid of that 2. Note that 2x is basically 2 times x, right? And we cannot subtract here, since if you subtract negative, you can't subtract here because if you subtract here, you're just gonna get 2x minus 2. You cannot do that since, again, adding, that's not how we add like terms. And if you subtract 2x, you're just shifting 2x from one side of the equation to the other side of the equation. So you're not eliminating 2 by itself. So how do we get rid of 2? We need to undo multiplication. Again, 2x is 2 times x. So you need to undo that multiplication. How do we undo multiplication? You divide. Now, how are we going to divide? Are we going to simply divide both sides by 2x? No, because again, we're not gonna get rid of that x. We only want to get rid of that 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide both sides by 2. 2x divided by 2 and 10 over 2. 2x over 2, again, fraction, topic 2. You can simplify this into x, and 10 over 2 is 5. And that's basically it. Now let's try solving another one. Negative 7y is equal to 35. We want to get rid of that negative 7. So we want to isolate y, so we have to get rid of that negative. We have to divide both sides by negative 7. This negative 7 cancels out. And we're left with y. And 35 divided by negative 7 is negative 5. Hence y is equal to 5. Negative 5. Here's some more examples. 3x is equal to negative 18. Again, this time we want to get rid of 3. So we divide both sides by 3. And you're left with x. And negative 18 divided by 13 is negative 6. Another example. Negative 32 is equal to 4b. We want to isolate b, so we have to get rid of that 4. How do we do that? Divide both sides by 4. 4b divided by 4 is b, and negative 32 divided by 4 is negative 8. So b is equal to negative 8. Again, it doesn't really matter which order you write your stuff. It can be b is equal to negative 8 or negative 8 is equal to b. Doesn't really matter. As long as you have this, as long as you have the same number and the same variable. Now let's try negative 5n equal negative 40. Again, we want to isolate n, and we're not simply going to divide by 5 because you're leaving your negative. So what we do is we divide both sides by negative 5. Negative 5n divided by negative 5 is simply n. And negative 40 divided by negative 5 is basically 8. So n is equal to 8. Now let's try some division. Let's undo some division. We have x over 5 is equal to negative 3. Now we want to get rid of that 5. So what do? We multiply both sides by 5. Negative 3, we'll start with the right side first. Negative 3 times 5 is 15. And 5 times x over 5 is basically the same thing as 5 over 1 times x over 5. You can simplify 5 and 5 and you're left with x. So x is equal to negative 15. Now we have 8 is equal to b over 2. We want to isolate b, so we have to create that division by 2. So we multiply both sides by 2. 2 times 8 is 16, and b over 2 times 2 is simply b. Again, don't forget to write your line between the two that separates the equation into two parts. Now we have n over negative 3 is equal to negative 7. We want to get rid of divide or over negative 3. So how do we do that? We multiply both sides by negative 3. Negative 3 times n over negative 3 is simply n. And negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21. So if you don't get how to multiply sign numbers, go back on topic 6 and review on that, because we're in topic 8 already. Now let's add some terms in our equation. So let's start with something easy. If you forget what terms is, topic 8. So right now we have x minus 7 is equal to negative 2 minus 6. So our goal is still isolate the variable, but first thing first, we add like terms. So does negative 7 have a, let's start with this one, negative 7, do negative 7 have a like term? You might say, oh, there's like terms here. You cannot add terms when it's on the other side of the equal sign. You can only add terms on the same side of the equal sign, okay? So you cannot add negative 7 with negative 2 and negative 6. But what you can do is you can add negative 2 and negative 6. Negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. So our new equation is x minus 7 is equal to negative 8. Now what we do is we simply do what we did previously with equality, property of equality. We want to get rid of that negative minus 7. So we add 7 on both sides. X minus 7 plus 7 is x. And negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1. So our answer is x is equal to negative 1. Now let's move on. We have 2y minus 6y is equal to 12. Now what we do is what we're going to do is add like terms. Is there any like terms? Yes, 2y and 6y. So add the coefficients and you're going to get negative 4y equals 12. Now we want to get rid of that. Again, our goal is still isolate y. So how do we do that? We get rid of that negative 4. How? We divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 4y divided by negative 4 and 12 divided by negative 4. This becomes y, and 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Now let's move on to the next example. We have 10 is equal to 2m minus 4m. Again, we want to combine all the like terms. 2m minus 4m is negative 2m. So our new example is, our new equation is 10 is equal to negative 2m. Now we want to get rid of that negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. And you're going to get negative 5 is equal to m. Now our last example for this part, for this part, we have negative 8 plus 6 equals y over 8. Again, we want to isolate y. So we want to get rid, first thing first, add like terms. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. and there's no like terms to do, so we leave it as is. So now we have -2 is equal to y over 3. So since our goal is to isolate y, we have to get rid of that 3. So to do that, we multiply both sides by 3. 3 times -2 is -6, and y over 3 times 3 is simply 1. Now last example is we have -z minus 1 plus 7z is equal to 17 plus 2. Again, isolate the variable z. First thing first, add like terms. So let's start with the left side, -z. Is there any like terms with -6c? Yes, it's 7c. Again, if you add the like terms, you're going to simply get z, and -1 is still -1. I mean, this becomes -1. So it doesn't really matter. You can, for this part, you can have -1 plus z, or you can also have z is equal to z minus 1, or -1 plus z. Okay, you can have z minus 1 or -1 plus z. Either way is okay, because if you, since now, what do? We undo -1 or -1 by adding 1. So we add 1 on the left side, so we add 1 on the right side. -1 plus z plus 1 is z. 19 plus 1 is 20. Now let's try some distribution. So distribution is topic 8, so study on that. Here's some review if you don't recall what distribution is. So right now we have 3x minus 7 times 3 is equal to 10x. Our goal is to isolate x, but to do that, first thing first, we distribute 3 to all the term. This part is what we call simplify. We want to simplify this complex part of the equation by distribution. So we distribute 3 to both 3x and 7. So we're going to have 3 times 3x minus 7 times -3. Minus 7 times -3. So again, your operation stays the same, minus minus. And now we simplify. 3 times 3x is 9x, and 7 times 3 is 21. Again, notice all our operation stays the same. Alright, and then what now? Now we want to eliminate smaller variable by moving it. So which one's a smaller variable, 9x or 10x? 9x, so that's the one we're going to move. How do we move it? We subtract by 9x, not just by 9, not just by x, but by the whole term. 9x minus 21 minus 9x is -21. 10x minus 9x is x. So x is equal to -21. Now we have 13x is equal to 3x minus 1 times everything by 4. So now we're going to shortcut this part. We're going to distribute, first thing first, distribute 4 to all the terms inside the parentheses. 4 times 3x is 12x, and 4 times 1 is 4. The operation stays the same. Now what do? We want to get rid of that. We want to get rid of that smaller variable. So how do we do that? Anyone? We eliminate smaller variable by moving it. In this case, it's 12x. 12x minus 12x is 0. So we're left with negative 4. Minus 4 becomes negative 4. And then 3x minus 12x is equal to x. So just in case you didn't know how we got minus 4, negative 4 from 12, negative 4 to, how we got from minus 4 to negative 4, well, think of this, 12x minus 4 minus 12x is basically the same as 12x plus negative 4, subtraction rule, subtraction rule, plus negative 12x. This is on the first part of this video, so check on that. 12x and negative 12x become 0, so you're left with negative 4. That's basically what we did on the other examples too. 13x minus 12x is basically x. So our answer is x is equal to negative 4. Again, you guys don't need to show this. You can just simply go from here. 12x minus 4 minus 12x, and then you go here, negative 4. You don't need to show this part. But again, but do write it in your scratch paper if you guys get confused on how we went from here to here. Now let's try equation with multiple operations to undo. So let's have an example. 3y minus 5 is equal to 16. So let's visualize the scenario. So if you go somewhere, right, and you want to wear shoes, first thing first, before you wear your shoes, you put your socks and then your shoes. And then when you get home, to get rid of your socks, you need to get off your shoes and then your socks. So the order is kind of reversed when you want to take off something, right? It's the same thing with our equation. When you want to isolate x and there's multiple operations, you want to undo it reverse order of operation. So instead of grouping symbol, exponent, root, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, is the other way around. So let's start with something easy. 3y minus 5 is equal to 16. Now we want to get rid of that subtraction addition. Subtract minus 5, so we need to get rid of that minus 5 by adding 5. Minus 5 plus 5 is 0, so we're left with 3y, and 16 plus 5 is 21. Now we want to get rid of that 3, so now we can do multiplication division. 3 times 3y, to get rid of the 3, from 3y, we divide both sides by 3. 3y over 3 and 21 over 3. 3y over 3 gives you y, and 21 over 3 gives you 7. So your answer is y is equal to 7. Okay, so now we have 5x plus 2 is equal to 17. Our goal is to isolate x, so we subtract both sides by again, before we do any subtraction, undoing multiplication or division, we have to undo addition subtraction. In this case, we have to undo plus 2 with minus 2. So we minus 2 on the other side too. So 5x, we're left with 5x is equal to 17 minus 2 is 15. 5x is equal to 15. Now we can undo that multiplication 5 by divided by 5. 5x over 5 is equal to 15 over 5. So our answer is x is equal to 3. Okay. Why is it? Excuse me. So now let's move on to the next example. Z over 6 plus 3 equals 12. Now we want to isolate z. So before we undo any division, we have to undo that addition. To do that, we subtract 3 on both sides, leaving you z over 6 equals, what's 12 minus 6? 9. So z over 6 equals 9. Now we want to undo that division by multiplication. Multiplying by what? Z? No, with 6. Z over 6 times 6 is basically z, and 9 times 6 is equal to 54. So z is equal to 54. Now let's try with still multiple operation, but in this case we have addition and not addition and subtraction. We have multiplication division. So now we have negative 8 is equal to negative 4x over 5. So you have two options. First option is you treat it as proportion. But before you treat it as proportion, change negative 8 to a fraction. So it's going to be negative 8 over 1. And again, when you change any whole number to a fraction, you want your negative on your numerator. So it's going to be negative 8 over 1, and then we're going to give the negative to 4x and give us negative 4x over 5. Now what you do is cross multiply negative 8 times 5 right here, and 1 times negative 4x, or negative 4x times 1. Now we simplify. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40, and negative 4x times 1 is negative 4x. Now our goal is pretty much the same thing, isolate x. How do we do that? We want to get rid of that. We want to undo that negative 4. How do we undo negative 4 times x? We divide by negative 4. Both sides, not just one side. Negative 4x divided by negative 4, and negative 40 divided by negative 4. This side will give you guys 10, and you're left with x. So our answer is 10 is equal to x. Option 2 is you do the reverse orders of operation. So now we're still in this part. So what do we do? First thing first, again give your negative to your numerator, and then question, can we do any division right now for this part? Can we divide everything by 4? No, because we are in a fraction, and dividing a fraction with another number complicates things, right? We don't want, when we solve things, we don't want it to be complicated. We want it simple. So instead of undoing the multiplication, let's undo the division. How do we undo the division? We multiply by 5. Since we multiply one side by 5, we also multiply the left side by 5. 5 times negative 8 is negative 40, and you're left with, and on your right side, you're left with negative 4x. Now how do we get rid of negative 4? Same thing we did on the option 2, we divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 4x divided by negative 4 is x, and negative 40 divided by negative 4 is 10. So x is equal to 10.